Okay, good afternoon. Wow, we've had a very exciting few days as we've been able to show our wonderful friends from the Democratic National Convention Task Advisory Group. We've been very, very excited. One of the greatest things I think that we can get out of this is that we truly were able to show off one of the greatest assets our community has, and that's the Columbus collaborative spirit. Everywhere we've gone throughout the city, we've had nothing but tremendous participation from the private sector, the public sector, and the civic sector. And I think that's one of the greatest things that we can do as a community as we share what we can do best for 2016. We believe that we can not only accommodate the physical needs of the convention, but exceed those. And the collaborative spirit of Columbus will also help us provide what I believe is the number one thing that we need to have our friends from the DNC take away, and that is in 2016 we will be able to provide an absolute tremendous delegate experience. We believe that's what's going to separate us from our competitors. So it's been wonderful. Amy, wish you could stay for another 3 days. But with that, one of the things we were able to do is we had a few tours, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce Columbus's #1 tour guide and the nation's #1 mayor, Michael B. Coleman.
Thanks, Brian. This has been a phenomenal 2 days. Let me just say I'm proud of our citizens, and I'm proud of how we all came together to put our best foot forward. And I have a tremendous sense of pride for our city, our state, and indeed our country, because these past 2 days have been thrilling in many ways. From the moment that over 1,000 people cheered when the DNC members walked down a blue carpet into the arena, the tour of the arena. I don't know if any of you were up for the fireworks last night. Literally. It was an incredible experience. What I'm most proud of is the collaboration and partnership that I have seen in this community, how this community has rallied around and come together to all say in unison, bring it. Bring the DNC to the city of Columbus in 2016. And what they've seen, frankly, is the progress that we've experienced over the past plus or minus decade, and it's all been on display. And all the things that are yet to get done before 2016 comes about. It's incredible. We have the facilities, we have the abilities, and we have the politics, all on our side. But the most important thing, above those three things, is this collaboration and partnership that is genuine in the city of Columbus. It's something I'm extraordinarily proud of. And so I've come to know Amy Dacey over these past 2 days and her whole team. They're really good people. And no matter what happens, we have a friend here with the DNC in the city of Columbus and the state of Ohio. They asked questions, we answered all of them. But they got a chance to see the greatest city in our nation, and a city that is ready and able to perform for the DNC in 2016. Let me bring Amy Dacey up, who is the DNC Executive Director, for some comments. Amy?
Thank you. I just want to certainly thank the mayor for an incredible 2 days. I also want to thank Brian and his team, and certainly everybody who's standing up here with me. When the mayor brought his team up to DC for a meeting, we walked through what they thought was the right choice in Columbus and walk through some details for us. And after that meeting, we felt very strongly we needed to come to a site visit here in Columbus. The last 2 days, we've had incredible meetings. We've seen the city, and we've spent a lot of time to answer a lot of the questions that we had. And we are being very thoughtful about this process. The Democratic National Committee and the Technical Advisory Group we've put together understand that in 2016, we'll be nominating the 45th President of the United States, and a lot goes into deciding about the convention and making sure it's the best one yet. So again, thank you to the city. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for you have an incredible team that you are working here with, and we really appreciate the time and all the consideration that you gave us while we were here. Thank you.
So we can open up for questions. This is the team.
Chris Van Oker with Channel 6 and Channel 28.
This is 131.
And counting. Got a question for Ms. Dacey, if I could. Looking for something maybe you don't say at every stop. And if you could do it at the microphone, what surprised you the most about Columbus on this visit?
Well, probably how much I love Jenny's ice cream. I didn't know that before I got here, but I am addicted to salted caramel. So that was a big part of the visit. No, I think the thing about having the meetings in D.C. is that you have to come here to see, proximity, to see what the city looks like, to spend time really honing on the logistics. And that was an incredibly helpful thing to come here and to, have the bus tours, to walk the streets. And certainly I would agree with the mayor, the collaboration between, we met with labor, we met with business, we met with the progressive community, and we met with public officials. And they're all working together here, I know, to make Columbus the best city it can be.
Can you tell us a little bit about your trip through Ohio State, the tour of the stadium, what you saw, what you thought, who you met?
The Tech Advisory Group did break up and do some different portions of that. I actually didn't do the stadium tour. I was here meeting with some progressive groups. But I know that we're all going to regroup, and the team's going to tell me how it went, what they thought about that.
Obviously you're not going to tell us where you're leaning, but can you tell us what the ideal convention site would be? What things have to come together to be number one on the list?
The consideration, of course, finance and logistics take a lot and are at the forefront of making this, a convention that works and works for everybody. It's too early in the process really to comment on that. We are looking at 5 cities. This has been only the 2nd city. We have a lot more to do. We'll bring all that information together and look at it holistically.
Amy, obviously you're looking at the nuts and bolts as you travel to these various locations. Can you tell us, does Columbus at a minimum meet the minimum requirements, infrastructure, transportation, hotels?
I can say all cities that we're doing site visits for met a certain criteria that had us look at it and have us travel to the city itself to look at it. So,
Was Columbus beyond that?
again, it's too early. I mean, there's a lot of factors that will go into this. I will say that coming to the city shows that there was a certain criteria that we thought it was worth coming to the city to look at it firsthand.
Obviously, a set date hasn't been made yet, but what's the ballpark date for the 2016 convention?
I think we have a window between July and end of August to look at the dates that would be appropriate for our convention.
Okay, so you wouldn't be in September?
No.
Okay. So Ohio State, their first home game or their first football game in 2016 is the last week of August. Has your group looked at that in terms of?
That's one of the things that we're bringing back in consideration and looking at, like I said, everything. The Tech Advisory Group will come together. A lot of us, like I said, divided off, did different parts of this. We're going to have a conversation about all those aspects.
What impact, if any, does the Republicans' convention in Cleveland have on your decision here?
We're looking at all the 5 states that we agreed to in the site selection, and we'll take that into account, and looking at them all individually to see which is the best one.
Can Columbus compete with New York and Philadelphia?
We're visiting all 5 cities, so I think everything's on the table, so yes.
What is your favorite part about the last 2 days, besides Jenny's?
There's not really one thing that I can pick beside Jenny's. No, there's been a lot, and I think the best thing is really the mayor did do a great job of showing us every aspect of what we were looking for and the various groups in different parts of the city. So,
Did you have a preconception of what Columbus was before you came here? before you saw the presentation?
We're looking at them all from, the RFPs we got and our individual site selections, so, thank you.
As you guys break up, we do have a lot of other great friends here to talk to. We just have to get Amy to continue.
Thank you.
The mayor will be here.